Hey guys, how is everybody doing today? Um, so I just got back from the dentist. Still pretty um, they put Novocaine in your face, and yeah, I got that lovely feeling. I hope everybody's doing good today. There has been some big changes. We're gonna go through that today, as well as look at the future on what's going to happen. So that's fun. How is everybody doing today? We uh, we will look at a few things. So this is going to be a broadcast that will take time, brief moments. We will have. I'm going to switch it to show some scenarios, some smaller scenarios. Um, we'll just play it by, how do I say it? Play it by year. We'll play it by year. So we will talk about that loose monkey. Thank you for tuning in. By the way, we are gonna talk about all that. We got all that we're gonna talk about. Let's get right into it. Um, so this is what it looks like on the infrared visibility. Hey, it's all right, Heather. Um, tried to tag you, but it's okay, Heather. This is what it looks like. You can see that here is Hurricane Dorian. Here is Tropical Depression Aaron. It is moving northeast. Um, Hurricane Dorian is kind of moving right now. It's kind of moving north, but it's going to be moving northwest. So when I show you how it's gonna go, yeah, very well possible. Roughly around 120 miles per hour. So that would put it in ranking as a Cat 3 major hurricane. Yeah. So, let's see. Wish I could. Oh, I could do it like this. There you go. Oh, look at that. So, we have some scenarios. I've been looking at models most of the morning before I had my doctor's appointment. And a lot of things has changed. This some of the things that a couple days ago when I made a video is totally, we're not even on the same page as that video anymore. Right now, as you can see, it kind of went east. The eye went east of Puerto Rico. So yeah, that's good. It went right over those islands that are east, the Virgin Islands, right over those islands. And now it's moving basically northwest. It's the eye is trying to move. It's getting into perfect waters. That low that was from tropical depression Aaron has shifted kind of with the other low. So as it's starting to curve, it's going to strengthen. And I want everybody to know from this video, um, this is all my opinions. I'm going to be showing you some of the National Hurricane Center, what they say and what they're projected. But the National Hurricane Center and myself and a lot of other weather enthusiasts that study weather thought that it was going to go over Dominican Republic and go in between Puerto Rico. It is way far off. So we all are surprised, but weather, like I told you 3 days ago, this that could have not happened. And look at that, it didn't happen. It is now a Category 1 hurricane, and it is on the northeast side of Puerto Rico. So if you look at it, let's see if I can pause this. This is 10 minutes ago. This is where it's at. So we can pull up a few things. We will pull up National Hurricane Center. And see that it's a little bit ahead of where this is showing. This was as 2 p.m. So it's about 4 p.m. there. So it's shifted. It's moved up into this area. It's actually a little bit more. Where my cursor is, that's where it's at. So, and it's going to move up into north of the Bahamas. Now, as you see, it goes from H to M. M just means that the winds go from hurricane. The forecast is H is 74 to 100 miles per hour, and then M is 110 plus. Considered a major hurricane. So, as we see, it's a Cat 1 right now. And it is predicted to be right around a Cat 3 at landfall. Don't really, like I said a couple days ago, don't know exactly what's going to happen. It could get out into the warmer waters and strengthen way more than a Cat 3. It may not get to a Cat 3. That's the kind of the marking. Hey Kyle, how are you? I hope you're doing good. Hope everybody's doing good. I just got back from the dentist, so my lip is had some Novocaine in it, and yeah, lovely. If and when it makes landfall on the U.S. coast, some models are showing the National Hurricane shows that it goes into the Titusville, Florida area. That is kind of close to the Space Center, I think. The NASA Space Center in Florida. But a lot of models, as the cone refers to, as the spaghetti models are predicting, could anywhere from Miami all the way up to close to Savannah, Georgia. Now, there is a lot of models that are showing, like 3, 4, 5 models that are showing that it's going to go through Florida. And yesterday, I thought, or the models were showing that it was just going to kind of go up in the coast in the Gulf of Mexico, up into Mobile, Alabama. Now it's showing that it is going to come out off the coast in the Gulf of Mexico and then turn around and just hit Florida again. So, um, so we never know on what happens there. But if you're if you're the Puerto Rico, you're a lot of rain, but most of the wind threat is to the east of you. Yes, Florida's first hurricane of the yes, there was a hurricane um, that kind of went into New Orleans, but it didn't really make landfall as a hurricane. This is the first major hurricane um, in the Atlantic. We've had several major hurricanes out in the Pacific this year, but this hurricane is the only one that we've had that's in the Atlantic that is possibly going to get to the strength that they're predicting to more than 110 miles per hour. So we can go over to windy and get this out of here. I'll play a scenario. Right now, this is showing that it's kind of on the east coast of Puerto Rico. It's actually kind of northeast. So this scenario is a little off, but I will show you the scenario of this scenario specifically. So as the European models are showing on Windy app, we're going to look at several different apps because you can't just look at this app because this app is not pulling my confidence level on where this is, because according to where the storm is now, I'm assuming the storm's going to be in this area. But the Euro model is showing this area. Let's see GFS. So GFS is kind of on the same GFS is pretty on the dot right now. I would say GFS is pretty on the dot. So we'll look at the GFS model, we'll look at the Euro model, kind of compare some scenarios. This is the GFS model. It's currently at midnight tonight. Your morning commute is about 10 a.m. So right now it's probably still a low, or probably a low to mid Cat 1. Not really showing much on this that it's gonna be higher than that. As we can go, once you start seeing the that reddish purple kind of on the bottom, that's when it's really strengthening. That's when it's getting to its strongest point. So as you can see here, it's kind of wrapping around. At this point, I am assuming it's strengthening. So you see how it's kind of on the southern end. And this is GFS model. This is showing that it's most likely significantly strengthening. Now the GFS model, when I looked at it this morning, it didn't make direct landfall. But I guess we'll see right now if it's changed. Now it made... See, this is a little north of what was showing. Now we're looking at... the outskirts. Okay. So GFS is still showing. Let's see. It does not. The eye does right there. So according to the GFS, Daytona Beach, direct landfall at roughly Monday early morning around 1 a.m. That's what the GFS is showing. So let's look at the European model. And let's go back to Friday night. We'll just let this play through. This it's according to the European model, it's really going. This is a monstrous storm. So Sunday, looking around noonish, landfall right around Fort Pierce, north of Palm Beach. So and I'll show you the ending scenario of it. I don't see it happening. The ending scenario, I don't see it sticking together like it shows on this model. So according to this, 12 a.m. Tuesday, the 3rd, it's making another landfall on the other side of Florida. So it would make 2 landfalls. Now right now, that's way too far in advance. We can't really even look at that. This is Hurricane Dorian. Long wave. It's really wanting to load. I don't know why it's taking... Who's not wanting to cooperate with us. We'll look at the intensity guidance. Hey, Jane. Showing most of the things, most of the lines are showing Cat 3. There's a few Cat 4. There's one that's saying it's to be a high Cat 4. But it's in between Cat 1 and a Cat 3. I would say if it's not a Cat 1, it's going to be a Cat 3. Is it lagging? Okay, this is showing you. Oops. There we go. So this was August 25th. It's showing a strong Cat 3. See, this is what it was looking like yesterday. Then I come across and then go up into Alabama. And it's holding at 999 millibars. It gets over Florida at 987 millibars, and then it just kind of suffocates. It's 992. Right about here, it should be Cat 3. Public advisory come out. Next one should be at 5. So let's shift over to WSV3. We're going to do a brief. This is the 11 a.m. advisory.
Trends, and if you look at this loop, Dennis, it's kind of.
This is the 11 a.m. advisory, so it was a tropical storm and now it's a hurricane. I'm gonna get this switched over.
Welcome back to the National Hurricane Center. I'm Ken Graham. We're live right here in the operations area, where back behind me a lot of work being done to come up with the forecast for our tropical storm Dorian. Latest information: 70-mile-an-hour winds, and with the brand new forecast, still looking pretty strong. I want to show you something on satellite real quick, just some latest trends. And if you look at this loop, Dennis, it's kind of tough to tell, but it's very interesting in the last couple frames. If you look right in here, you can see some of that convection starting to increase right around where we think the center is. So an indication that, really starting to get maybe a little bit stronger with time. So we're really going to watch that real close. And actually, the latest information, we do have the track that we're keeping an eye on, and you can see still a compact storm, but even so, that the winds, the tropical storm force winds extend You know, they could get out there 50, 60 miles away from the center. So there still could be a lot of impacts away from the center. So we're talking rain, we're talking the wind, we're talking the potential for flash flooding. I do want to real quick go to the radar because I really see what's going on. Look at the amount of rain. You can see so much rain, some of that very heavy over we got the U.S. Virgin Islands, we got Puerto Rico that could be impacted by the center and all this rain. So we really got to keep an eye on this as we move across these islands because some of those impacts could be significant. Let's actually go back to that track because I think it's important to not only look just what's happening here, so we need to watch as we go across and have those impacts to Puerto Rico. But look what happens with time. I'm actually going to move this up like this. So we mentioned it this morning on how the impact could be further along when we start looking at the forecast. The intensity, each different update that we have seems to be getting a little stronger, and what's happening is you had less influence in some of the terrain. Big impacts, we're still going to have the rain and the flash flooding, but with time, as we go further in time, there wasn't a lot of influence of the terrain on the hurricane. So look at all this warm water, and we're looking at the models, and we're not seeing a whole lot of shear associated with the atmosphere. So we're thinking continue to strengthen with time, and the new forecast that we have is potential for a major hurricane on the southeast coast throughout Florida as well. Something to stress here, one of it is looking at the timing, that's 8 a.m. Monday, but the impacts could come a lot earlier than that. So you've got to realize some of these impacts in terms of rain and the winds and also some of the storm surge could come earlier than the landfall. The other thing to stress here that I think is really important at this stage, that's a ways out in the forecast. So, I mean, there could be still some uncertainty. There could be some, just some uncertainty exactly where this is going to go. So let's talk about what the cone is. The cone really signifies where that center could be 2/3 of the time. So when you look at this, it could be anywhere in there. So you're talking anywhere from maybe the South Carolina coast, Georgia coast, all the way the entire coast of Florida. So anybody in that area could see some impacts from this hurricane with time. That's why we really got to pay attention to the latest information. I think that's real important. As we go through timing for Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, I mean, things are happening now. You can see the radar. And during the day today, in the afternoon, you're going to see those tropical storm force winds. You're going to see the rain stretch across Puerto Rico, and I'll show you some of the rainfall forecasts coming up here shortly. But then with time, we're going to keep on going out into near the Bahamas. We're going to eventually get to the southeast coast. So timing for the Bahamas, you start looking at Friday morning, the onset of some of those tropical storm force winds, and then even getting further towards the coast for the southeast coast. Need to look at that. The arrival of some of those tropical storm force winds could come as early as Saturday night. So what does that mean? That means you look at those times. The arrival of tropical storm force winds really means that's when you need to have things wrapped up because it's too dangerous to be outside. So you need to be prepared by then. Get your plans together. Some uncertainty in the forecast, but regardless, anybody in here could see those impacts. Anywhere that landfall could be is not the most important thing. It really is seeing some of those impacts with time. So more immediately, I talked about the chance for rain. We could talk about chances for rain once we start narrowing down the forecast in the southeast U.S., but immediately we've got some rainfall in Puerto Rico, and that's what we're going to talk about, and also the U.S. and British Virgin Islands. And with that forecast shift, you can see some of that rainfall. The maximums have shifted to the east part of the island there, 1 to 4 inches or so in the extreme western part of Puerto Rico. But look over here. You can see some of those values. You could see 4 to maybe 6 inches of rain, maybe isolated areas of 10 inches of rain. So if you take all that rain, you're going to get flash flooding. You can have some mudslides. You got to watch out for that. But then you start putting the winds on top of that. Remember, we're 70 miles an hour, so you can have some pretty high winds that could topple some trees and also some power lines. So pretty big impact all around with this storm. So necesito palabras en español, Maria.
So as we looked at that, um, it's where it's currently at. They're going to be doing another update at around 5:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Um, about California coast. Like what's going on over there. We will. Like talk about weather in Cali. I don't quite understand. Oh, this storm really isn't going to affect California unless it changes a little bit directions. Let me. We're we're gonna take a brief break. Get a drink of water. So I'm going to take a brief break. Yeah, I don't clearly know. We're gonna take a brief break. I'm gonna grab a snack. Grab something probably to eat or something. Okay. Make sure you have your settings on auto because it's running at about 720, 60 frames per second. Roughly around there. Heather, I'll be right back.
What's the perfect
Okay, I'm back. Got something to eat. So, I discussed something with somebody. I think I might leave this stream up. Um, probably till probably till I don't know how long, but or I might end it and then once it gets to like cat 2, start it back up. I don't know. I'll have to. Jane, are you on YouTube a lot? Okay. Because I'll probably have to have a mod in here at least half the time because when I sleep and everything, we all take shifts. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at um I looked at something else very interesting. So that I might like end it later after the news conference at in about 15 minutes. I might end it. Um and then tomorrow let's look at we gotta redo all the windows and so let me fix the windows. Okay. Yeah, roughly. So let's go to here. And let's go to today's Wednesday. Let's do something. So we're gonna wait for them for this. Aaron's gonna turn into a post-tropical cyclone. And we'll get an update. So I'll see how that looks on screen. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I get everything in here. The update is gonna be as we can see 5:30. So we'll watch that update, we'll see how that looks, and we'll go from there. Does this sound good? Till till National Hurricane Center, we can look at this. If Heather, if you can, Heather, if you can hear this, or if you're here, will you please let me know? Well, I can tell you, your cousins live in Daytona Beach, Florida. Um, if there's a few models that are showing that it may make landfall near Daytona, but that is a couple days, 3 4 days out. So it's still a little bit hard to the confidence level on that is very low still. So I wouldn't like get too freaked out about it. Make sure you're aware of what's going on and make sure they know to watch their local either Weather Channel or National Weather Service or National Hurricane Center. But from right now, Bobby, I would let your cousins know to at least have stuff packed just in case. Um, Enough like I know that's harder said than done, but I wouldn't worry too much just to be on the safe side just in case. Have a few things packed, some snacks or something if just cuz yeah, I don't want but nothing real like I can't pinpoint saying Daytona Beach is going to get hit. There of course they're going to get some effects from at least a tropical storm standpoint, but other than that, I can't give you a confident answer on where this is gonna land. About got about 5 minutes until this little information about Hurricane Dorian. No change. It possibly died down a little on like currently. There's not much change. That's why I'm waiting for the National Hurricane Center to release that a video, and then I think I'm gonna end it and make sure you guys keep an eye out on the community tab. Either I'll post that I'm gonna go live or I might go live because and I might just go live with radar. because it's gonna go over. So if you look here, once it gets past these islands, it's gonna be out in the open. So so yeah, you're gonna be able to get some wind on these islands, but a lot of these islands are owned by like personal people to land on some of these islands. So I'm not really. So right, probably in this section, I probably will go live again, and that's roughly around. uh, Patriot, there's a very good chance. So I might go live again on Friday. I use tons, Patriot. Couple main ones would be the national, or not the national, European model. I use the NAM. I use GFS. Oh, yeah, the video's in.
The entire coastline of Florida is in that cone, and with the uncertainty with the extended forecast, everybody in these areas have to be ready. Anywhere in here can get the impact, so we really don't want to focus just on that forecast track, but focus on this storm with all the impacts. So we're going to have to be ready as we get closer with time. Let's look at some of the impacts. And time is always one of the biggest questions we get is, okay, fine, when? So we have some products that really help with this. This is one of them. This is something that we call the most likely arrival of tropical storm force winds. And why is this important? When the tropical storm force winds get here, that means it's pretty dangerous to be outside. We need to have everything wrapped up. So if you look at this and take a look at the map, we could have tropical storm force winds approaching the coastline in Florida Sunday at 8 a.m. And that's something to remember. So really we need to be wrapping things up before that. So if you think about it, by Saturday, have the plan in place, have everything ready, listen to the local officials, so incredibly important, and listen to the latest forecast, because this, still some uncertainty in this extended forecast, so you really need to pay attention just in case things change. So the bottom line is through the Bahamas Friday and Saturday to be ready, and also by the Florida coastline by Saturday, you need to have things wrapped up in your preparation. So we have a lot of impacts still in Puerto Rico. We have a lot of impacts when it comes to the rain and the wind. Dr. Pablo Santos, come in and let's get an update on what's going on in Puerto Rico.
Muy buenas tardes a todos, viéndonos desde la isla de Puerto Rico y las Islas Vírgenes. Bueno, como pueden ustedes ver aquí, el huracán.
Does anybody speak Spanish in here?
Sostenido unas 80 millas por hora. Más temprano esta tarde se registraron vientos sostenidos máximos en exceso de 80 millas por hora en la vecindad de St. Thomas, con ráfagas en exceso de 110 millas por hora. El sistema va a seguir de este momento en adelante alejándose de la isla de Puerto Rico. Así que en estos momentos lo que eso significa que no mucha preocupación en términos de impacto de viento. En ese aspecto, ¿no? La isla de Puerto Rico ha sido bendecida, ¿no? Pero a medida que se sigue moviendo y el flujo en la parte sur del sistema empieza a interaccionar con las islas, las montañas y las montañas de la isla, todavía existe la posibilidad que se desarrollen bandas de lluvia que impacten porciones de la isla y que resulten en inundaciones repentinas. Así que quédense al tanto con esa posibilidad, especialmente durante el resto de la tarde de hoy, las horas de la noche, y sigan, monitoreen bien de cerca los comunicados que salen de la Oficina Local del Servicio Nacional en San Juan. En términos de la Florida, tenemos que hablar de la Florida en estos momentos porque este sistema se proyecta que empiece a acercarse al estado de la Florida para tarde este fin de semana. No importa dónde usted viva, si vive en Jacksonville, Melbourne, Miami, eso es irrelevante. Fíjese como toda la costa este del estado de la Florida está dentro del cono de incertidumbre, lo que eso significa que en estos momentos el mensaje es bien sencillo. A medida que nos vamos acercando tarde el fin de semana, estamos lidiando, ¿no?, con una amenaza de un huracán mayor acercándose en algún punto de la costa este del estado de la Florida. Así es que esto es un buen momento para revisar todos sus planes de preparación y estar listo a ponerlos en vigor si se emiten vigilancias y avisos. ¿Para cuándo? Ya para tarde el sábado, antes que llegue el domingo, deben tener esos planes en vigor.
Dr. Santos, gracias para las palabras más importantes en la lluvia y tormentos. Muchas gracias. This has been Dr. Santos, Pablo, and Ken Graham here at the National Hurricane Center. This was live with the latest information on this hurricane.
So not much change. I am going to end it here. More than likely, if I'm not live tomorrow, I'll be live the next day. For sure Friday. For sure Friday. I will be live for sure Friday. Tomorrow, like I said, all those islands that a lot of people don't live on, I not really needing as it passed Puerto Rico. Not really needing until it hits about, once it hits category 2. If it hits category 2 Friday or Thursday, I'll go live with a radar. For sure. For everybody. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Yeah. Love you all. If you guys are in Puerto Rico, stay safe. If you're in Florida, prepare. Be ready. This storm is not a joke. And finish it out.
Introduce